Isn't it kind of funny that we're doing this?
It's pretty funny.
Who would have thought? We have drinks this time.
Oh yeah, Marc made cocktails. Thanks.
So this is a green tea shot. It's Jameson whiskey, peach schnapps, sour mix, and then a little bit of Sprite. It's really nice, actually. It tastes like green. It tastes like, you know what it tastes like? Green tea bubble tea.
Never had that.
You know what I mean? Oh, okay,
No.
me neither. But what would you imagine it tastes like?
This tastes like if green tea was in a candy form. You know, you get those guava candies, but they make green tea in that aspect.
That's actually on the money, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Because it's sweet, but it's not like it's candy.
I also have a coconut water beside me with the little coconut flakes in it.
I love them.
It's so good.
Coconut flakes are good for you.
I
made that up.
Oh.
But the coconut water
Probably.
is good. I like to drink coconut water when I'm dehydrated from either.
It's good for that.
Yeah, if they're like not eating enough and studying all day, or like at work and like the next day, or even hungover. I wake up and I'm like, coconut water right now would be so nice.
You know, you can actually make your own concoction. Like, think of it as a smoothie. I don't know all the ingredients, but something like banana with charcoal, because charcoal absorbs impurities, and you take that shake and it kind of basically draws out the alcohol from your system, and then you excrete that out probably in your stool.
This is actually goes well with that. Earlier when I said my stomach was hurting when I was in the kitchen with you, I went in the bathroom and I took charcoal pills.
No way, what?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
For that purpose of like drawing out impurities?
Yeah, because I've been eating some kind of sketchy foods recently. So it's like...
Find a burger on the ground. Whoa, nice! look around. No one's going to eat it. Well, might as well.
It's flat. It has like a tire track on it.
It's the nasty patty from Sonder.
Yeah, so I took that. We had that in Thailand. So whenever we ate something like sketchy, and like after we eat it, we're like, that probably wasn't the best idea. We'll take a pill.
So you take it preemptively, like I'm going to proactively prevent anything from happening, or you feel it and you're like, oh shoot, we should.
Depends on how I'm feeling. It says to take it 2 to 3 hours before or after a meal. But I feel like if I'm starting to feel like my stomach's feeling a little woozy, I'm just gonna take it. It can't get any worse. It's not like, oh, it wasn't 3 hours. Like, we're not gonna work for you.
Low woozy, eh?
A little woozy.
Low woozy vert.
Nice. I'm looking like a bum because I had 2 exams today and I've barely slept.
What were the exams on?
Music production. So it was just like a bunch of how to record instruments and a bunch of different instruments, orchestras, vocals, just like the study of those and in depth. And then one was like the principles of electronics. So it was like when I was talking to you about the light, like something I had to study. I had to like solve math equations too. It's pretty chill.
Cool. Isn't there a whole, I guess, branch of, let's call it science? Yeah, it should be like a sound audio science where if they have an amphitheater or something and they have speakers, they have to
For sure.
calculate, you know, when is the sound waves going to hit the back wall and bounce back? Is it going to sound weird? Is it going to sound like delayed and doubled over?
Yeah. We learned that.
Right?
We learned that in our principles of acoustics class. So that was like last semester. Whereas like, yeah, exactly. You'd find ways to make it so when you spoke in a room, it wouldn't bounce back right at you. So like they would in movie theaters, they have like it's like I'm shaping it like that because it's just easy to see like 2 humps, but they're laid flat like that.
Oh, okay.
Like this fan.
Yeah.
Like they have like
like
that,
2
so
half circles pushing
forward,
out at you.
facing forward. Yeah, pushing out at you. 2 half circles facing you, but also not 2, like hundreds.
Oh, hundreds. Oh.
Yeah, so it's like once the sound hits it, it can like go everywhere. But if you were to have like a flat wall, it like hits the wall and comes right back to you.
Oh, that's cool. So it kind of like the sound wave hits it and then it just kind of disperses it everywhere.
Into small amounts, rather than like if you were to speak at a straight wall, it like bounces back full force at you, you know? But that's why movie theaters are just so silent, you know?
Oh, I guess that is kind of true.
Super silent.
Is it
because if you don't want to watch a movie and like hear the sound of the movie behind you like a split second later, then you'd be like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dude, imagine you like worked in, like, say there's like a 3D hologram movie theater concert type technology that gets invented in the future. Like, what kind of applications could be created, or sorry, jobs could be created that I guess what would you call it, like a sound engineer or a sound expert scientist would know?
A sound science man is the correct term. Not making that up.
That'd be cool though.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what the future holds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. So yeah, just lack of sleep, lack of eating, good. I bought sushi like 4 days ago and I just finished it today, so it's probably why my stomach's fucked up. I offered you some earlier.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You order like a black charcoal pill sushi roll, like yeah, just put all like 5 pills in the sushi roll. Eat that. That's gonna screw me up.
That's what happened on the 5th day.
You know what's funny? Speaking of the future, What do you think of self-driving cars?
Scary, but also sick. If with a self-driving car, can you do other things? Are you allowed to like?
Yeah,
Are you allowed to like read a book and like
self-driving. You could take a
be in your
nap.
laptop? Are you
Yeah, you
actually
could
allowed
do
to?
work. You could do whatever you want.
But then what if there's an accident?
It corrects for that. It's self-driving.
What if I know? But what if someone hits you? Like you can't
Well,
account for everybody in their.
no, like it'll do its best. But if you're driving yourself and someone hits you in the same situation, you
You're
might
not at
have
fault.
the same or less
Oh.
of a chance of getting out of it. Apparently, so I heard this from a friend. Don't fact check me, but apparently one limitation to self-driving cars is that if you are on the, let's say, the highway, and something falls in the middle of a road and you have to go left or right, if there are, let's say 3 people on the right, just pedestrians, and there's an 18-wheeler truck on the left, apparently it'll swerve you to the left because it says 3 people versus one 18-wheeler truck life. Like you're gonna it's gonna kill you now because
Okay.
it's gonna save these 3 people. So apparently
It's kind of
that's what
sick.
apparently that's what that's kind of, it's creepy.
So you rather have them say that it's going to drive into people?
No, but just the fact that it's like, if that were to ever happen, you're going in the opposite direction of pedestrians, which is probably oncoming traffic, or maybe it's the median, or
But it's probably a better idea though because you got to look up
well,
for all
that's,
possibilities.
I guess that's the ethical debate, right? Like, is 3 lives pedestrians um, less or more important than your own life and an 18-wheeler and potentially the truck driver's life,
That's true too.
right? So it's just these
And like how many
limitations,
people do you have in your car? But at the same time, like if the car came out and said that, yeah, instead of driving into the 18-wheeler, we're gonna drive into people, they'd be like, okay, no, that's not allowed on the road, you know?
I don't know.
Mm.
I think the safest way would be if the majority or all cars are self-driving.
Yeah, exactly. Because like think about it. Say I'm reading my book while my car's driving itself, and then someone hits me, or like T-bones me. Where like I could have seen it coming if I wasn't reading my book.
Well, it's going to see it coming too because it has, let's just say, minimum like 8 cameras all around that are taking pictures 1,000 times a second.
But it can't brace you as fast as you can brace you.
You
So
like
I'm reading
in
my
the
book,
car,
and then
yeah,
it's like beep beep beep.
Yeah.
Someone's coming right now,
In
and it's
the
like I can't
car,
like put my
yeah.
book down, grab the wheel.
yeah. In the car, you can't brace, but I'm assuming you still have to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So like it'd be the same as if you didn't ever see that T-bone, but you were still driving. Versus now you're just reading a book, you're still sitting in the same spot, probably with the seatbelt on. You get hit.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's also it's both ways. I think, like you want to. I don't know. Just like if you gotta brace yourself, it's easier than when you're just like sitting back and you up.
Yeah, or maybe there is a beeping system that could go, let's just say, even 1 second. Think about how quickly you react to like some image, like a bird flying overhead. Within less than a second, you're dodging
True.
it, right? So within that 1 second of beep 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 beep, you brace something.
But at the same time, like with that beep 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 beep, you want to know where it's coming from. I feel like the first instinct would be like, what is it for, and then brace.
They probably have speakers like Dolby Atmos, which is like that super surround sound technology. That's like if you hear the beep on the left side, that's where an impact is coming.
That's a good point.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool though. I think at one point there would be highways fully dedicated to self-driving cars, or for example, the 407 is only for self-driving cars because you can, not that you can go faster, but if all cars are self-driving on that highway, they could probably reach like 200 kilometers per hour and just be completely fine. They could automatically give, let's just say,
The next car a lot of
200 meters of space. Let's all go 200. They're all connected on the same database. They're all linked together. So like this one knows it's going to exit here. This one can
convoy
take
system.
the space, and or if this one's going to slow down, this one knows, so it'll go around, and they could probably do some like rush hour Tetris thing.
That reminds me of a Wall-E.
The
When they're in the tube
floating
system.
chairs.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the floating chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. I think that'll be a long time though.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool though. I kind of want it to happen soon. I love to drive, but like I would love to just be like, you know what? It's rush. Well, first of all, if there was a highway just for self-driving cars, there probably wouldn't be rush hour if you're in that highway.
Unless there's an accident or something. It like how reliable is
Well,
this situation?
imagine there's let's say 3 lanes on this self-driving highway, and one of the lanes is blocked by a blown tire or something. All the cars are going to know, plus with 200 meters of space, they're just going to fill those gaps, move over. As soon as they're past it, come back out.
Yeah.
Because basically how traffic works in a nutshell is Imagine there's like 10 cars, and the first one slows down for a second and speeds up. The second car behind it is going to slow down just like the first one did, but let's just say half a second later. That third car is a half a second later from that. And as you go on and on and on, eventually, let's just say 30 cars down, that's a full, 3 to 8 seconds of just like, oh shoot, I've stopped. By the time this car's gone, it goes 1, 2, 3. They start accelerating again. You are at the back waiting for the line to get to you to start accelerating. And that's basically what traffic is, because people drive too close, they stop too suddenly.
They merge for no
merge
reason.
improperly. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I
It's
honestly,
like, oh no, my lane's slowing down. Let's get in that one.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I honestly think if everyone, human drivers, gave each other, let's just say 100 meters of space, I don't think they would be nearly as much traffic.
I believe that too.
And we obviously made better merging choices.
But you can't tell like all humans to be like, hey, stay 100 meters away.
Yeah, not everyone's a good driver.
That's true.
Oh, you know what's funny? Speaking of driving, I was on Eglinton going west towards Allen. So Eglinton's this huge, well, it's a really long road, but it's not that
I took it from
wide.
school to here yesterday.
That's far, no?
Yeah, but I had to. The traffic on the highway was way too bad.
Yeah.
So I took it all the way.
Well, anyways, Eglinton is this long road that goes east to west, and there's a bunch of construction on it. Been there for years, so it's really reduced lanes. I think it's one lane each way.
So bad. It's the worst road
Yeah.
ever.
But it leads to Allen Road, which takes you to the highway. So I was on
nice road.
Eglinton, about to turn onto Allen, but
Going west. or
going
east?
west.
Okay.
And then the lanes, they merge into one right at Allen. So all these cars were on the right side, all backed up far, far, far back, trying to get into Allen. I was like, well, this is stupid. Like, I'm going to go in the left lane, go to where the merge point is, and then merge there. I'll get ahead of all these cars. And that's not the intention. You're supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a late merge or a zipper merge. So I'm like, so I go to the left lane and I'm driving. I'm like, sweet, it's clear on the left lane. I'm gonna zoom by all these cars. I hit like 50. And this driver that's partially in the left lane trying to merge into the right lane to get in line to get on this Allen Road stuck their arm out and gave me the finger. I was so mad. I was like, first of all, you guys are idiots. We should like half of these cars should move to the left lane because that's faster, right?
It's faster to have two lanes merging into one than have one long lane.
Yes. So like 100
But
cars.
isn't it what's slowing people down is the merging of the lane?
Well, it depends. So if there's two lanes and just the right lane is fully backed up by 100 cars, you now have 100 car lengths of cars waiting to go onto this road. Versus take half of those, so now it's 50 in the right, 50 in the left. Zipper merge, you're kind of constantly moving back and forth, and it's less length in terms of the lineup of cars.
I think
so more cars behind them can actually get back, get
Closer.
onto yeah, exactly.
But I find that the issue is that the 100 car lane, now if you have someone going on the other side, then they're slowing down the process of the 100 car lane going forward.
Well,
Like, it's 50-50,
yeah.
but now this lane's going slower, maybe as slow as the 100 car lane would, because there's still cars going both back and forth.
Apparently it's still faster.
Huh.
Yeah.
People hate that. Sometimes I get mad at it too.
I don't. I'm
I
like,
get mad when someone like comes out of that one lane and then like three cars up. I'm like,
I don't care. I think that's what if that's what you're supposed to do and it makes more sense, sure. If I choose to stay in the right lane and stay backed up, that's my choice. But not everyone knows. And what
But also like letting people don't let people in though.
they don't. And what a scientist or a researcher or whatever said was that people don't like that. They want you to go in the right lane with them and stay backed up and not do the zipper merge, is because they either think they're doing some grand gesture to society, being like, I'm not going to skip ahead of all these people. Like, I'm going to do my part and stay in line and be late or whatever. Or the more cars that go in the left lane ahead of them is more cars that's going to slow them down.
Yeah.
So they get mad.
Yeah.
But really, none of this should be an issue because we should be filling both
But
lanes.
how can you prove that it's not slowing down that one lane? 'Cause now we have-
Apparently there's studies on it.
there's 10 cars in front of me, and then there's 5 cars trying to merge in. So instead of the 10 cars in front of me, I have to wait for these 5 to get in there as well. You know?
Apparently it saves time.
Hmm.
But think about it too. Like if everyone's in that right lane and it's backed up for a kilometer and there's all this unused left lane space, like what the hell?
Yeah.
Right? Like take half those cars, bring them in the left lane, zipper merge. Now the cars that were behind that kilometer long line can now move up as well. I don't know. I'm not a car like traffic scientist. This is just what I read and it made sense to me. And I was told that a long time ago that you're supposed to go to the merge point, not unless traffic's moving well, you're not supposed to merge early into the line that everyone's going into.
I think it's riskier because people get frustrated with that, like we talked about before, and then they like risk everyone else, like cutting people off and now honking and just like
Well, that's their fault for not knowing.
fair.
I don't know. There's stuff that I know that
Some
I'm
people
sure
think
people
that
do that
some people think
I didn't
that, like
know.
you said, like staying in the right lane is the right answer.
They think.
But
I don't know.
your
I feel like
your thought is also a thought too.
Well, apparently it's backed by science and evidence that it's faster.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Okay, so let me tell you this story.
Okay.
So I'm up. I hang out down here often, do my work, do my studying, do whatever, and then like I go visit my grandma upstairs, make sure she's okay, see what she needs, blah blah blah. Go up there recently, and it's just like fruit flies everywhere,
Oh.
like so many. Like she likes her fruit softer, so she leaves them out of the fridge, and then like lets them get really ripe so she can like chew them better because her teeth aren't so good. But she doesn't understand that the bugs are coming, and like there's a lot of bugs, but she can't see them because her eyesight's not so good. So I'm up there, I'm like, yo, there's so many bugs up here, like so many fruit flies up here, and then so that happens, and then I'm down here doing my studying, doing my work, and I'm like taking like naps between whatever I'm doing, and then I wake up from a nap and I go upstairs and I check on her, and then everything's okay, and she says, "Oh, like I brought you down some fruit," and I was like, "Fuck."
No.
So I go downstairs and it's just like this banana just like with like 100 fruit flies on it.
Oh
And
my
I was like,
god.
damn! So I got fruit flies
She
all
didn't
over my
feel
place.
the fruit flies on her hand.
I was upstairs yesterday and she has this. I told her like do something about this. Like this can't be right. So she put like a cloth over top of her bananas now. But like I went upstairs and I was just like talking to her for a bit and I'm like flipped it and there's like 50 just like shot up in the sky and I was like yo.
Ew.
So I gotta throw them out, man. And she like leaves. So she leaves a peach at her like eating spot so she can eat her peach after she eats her dinner or whatever, and like she'll like go warm up her dinner and like go walk around, go to the bathroom or something, and like I'm up there and like I see the peach and there's like so many bugs on it and I'm just like she won't listen. Like I don't know, I can't like I tell her I'm like throw the fruit out, put it in the fridge, put it in the microwave, put it somewhere like in the microwave as in like a box that's separate from everything else. But she's like no, I like it here. I'm like yo, then these are your flies, but also don't bring them downstairs. Now I have flies everywhere.
Keep
your
your damn flies upstairs.
Keep your damn flies. And like the whole hallway in the middle has some flies.
Nice.
And like she brought all these flies down. And I was like, yo, now I'm still dealing with them. And they find like a little bit of food and then there's more flies. So I'm like, damn.
You know what? One time at my dad's house, we went on like a weekend trip or something. Someone left like a plate of eggs in the microwave. Maggots still got in there. We opened the microwave, opened it up, covered in maggots. I don't know if they were already in the food or they just like snuck through a crack and they smelt it. I don't know.
Wow.
But like covered in maggots.
Really?
Yeah. Disgusting.
You want to hear another story?
Disgusting.
I don't know if I told you this story either. So I don't know what it is with living here. It's just like not so good with bugs in me. So when I first moved in, everything was kind of hectic and I didn't have a compost bin. So I was just like throwing my food in the garbage because that's all I have right now. And then like just throwing it outside. And then didn't do that for like a month and everything was fine. And then 1 week it was like really hot. And then like there's some flies around the garbage. And I was like, okay, like shit. Like I hope garbage day is soon so we can throw this out. Anyways, I moved to the front of the house and then my neighbor comes to my nice guy comes over and he's like, yo, I think like you might have had some food or dead animal in like your garbage can because there's a lot of flies and it smells kind of bad. Like shit, okay. He's like, okay, I think we have to like move the garbage into the compost bin and then throw that in the compost. Long story short, I'm like, okay, so we go in the back, open the cabinet, maggots everywhere, like so many. We're like, fuck. Like he's a really good guy. He said he watches Dexter, so he's okay with like this kind of shit. I was like, okay. So so there we are.
Finds like a murder in his house. Oh, this would have been bad if I hadn't have watched Dexter.
Yeah, so he says he's good with that. So we're there just like hand bombing all the maggots and the garbage into a garbage bag and we throw it in the compost bin. It wasn't like much food in there. There couldn't have been, but it was a hot day. Anyway, so I'm like, I get in the house. I'm like, damn, strip down. Maggots are gross. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that. Strip down, hop in the shower, and then like throw my clothes near the laundry machine so I can do it later. And then like 2 days later, I'm about to do the laundry and I pick up my pants. Boom, all these maggots fall down. And I was like, damn. So I was like, there's so many maggots, and they're like in this state. I googled it after, but they're in this state of like hard, like black and hard.
Oh, so they're like almost like cocooned. They're not moving.
But I thought they were dead.
Oh, okay.
So okay, sick. Threw a lot of them out, and like I didn't double check to make sure everything was gone. I was like, they look like they're dead. That's fine. They must have just died in the pile of clothes or whatever. And then I go away for 2 days, 3 days, and I come back. I'm like, everything was fine, and then I'm in my room. I get home at like midnight. In my room, and there's a fly flying around. I'm like sick, so I just kicked it. And I kicked it so hard, it like hit the ceiling. And I was like, yo, sick. I like got that guy, you know, like that motherfucker's dead. So I like throw him in the garbage, and then like I'm like prancing along, and I go to the kitchen, boom, and it's like like 30 flies flying around, and I was like, what's happening right now? There's so many flies. And I was like, just panicking. I was like, it's midnight. It's like 1 a.m. And I'm like, there's flies. There's like 30 of them. They're hitting me in the face and shit. It's like, I'm like, oh.
This is for my brother. In the face.
So it's like, I don't know. I must have walked by them and not seen them as I was going to the room to see the one fly.
Yeah.
So I'm in there. There's flies in this room and there's flies in the kitchen area. I was gone for 3 days and it was like kind of hot. So they must have like, those maggots must have like grown and turned into flies. And now I have flies in here and they're lively because like they're brand new kind of flies. So they're fast and it's like hard to get because like, going fast, not going slow, you know? It's like not, they've eaten recently.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting these flies for like an hour or two, and it's like 2 a.m. I'm on FaceTime with the guy from my class, and I was like, yo, like look at this. And he's playing VR, he's playing No Man's Sky. So he's on his Oculus Rift or something. He's on his PC, so he has like a chat where he can pull up his messages.
Yeah.
He pulls his messages and then his FaceTime. And so he puts his FaceTime in the VR, and he's like, yo, like, just for him, there's flies everywhere too, you know? Like, there are like so many flies. So we're both panicking. He's like, yo, that's fucked up. I was like, I gotta eat. Like, oh, I came home from work. That's what it was. So I get home at like 2 then, it must have been. And then, I'm like, gotta eat. I can't deal with this right now. There's just no way. I'm fighting them off for an hour. I'm like punching them, hitting them. I got like maybe like 7 or 8 because they're fast.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm like going to the microwave. I'm like ducking, like trying to get in the microwave. The microwave's on top of the fridge now too. So I'm like, open the microwave and like put the food in, like duck, and I'm like down, and it's like a swarm of like an army above. And then I'm like, yo, fuck it. I can't do this right now. It's 3 a.m. I gotta go to bed. So I come in this room, close the back door. Fucking 4 spider nests on the side of the door, and I was like, yo, what is happening right now? I was like, there's just no way this is happening. So I was like, fuck it.
King of the insects, right?
Yeah,
now.
so I was like, fuck it. Deal with this all tomorrow. Like everything's happening tomorrow. Like I'm not dealing with this now. Go to bed, get up, and I was like on FaceTime with another friend, and I was like, look at all these flies. Like we were watching all these flies, and they're just like, open the window, and I was like, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Open the window, all of them out the window. And
I literally
like,
never would have thought of that. I would have been like, I need a jellyfishing net.
I need to kill all of them.
To just like
jellyfish dead. SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yeah.
I call you over. We're just like bouncing around the room, like catching flies. So yeah, there's just like so many. They all zoomed out the window, and then like for a day or two after, I guess some of the more maggots. It was so gross. Hatched, and I was just like, it's the worst.
Yeah. I don't like bugs. Like if they don't touch me and don't get in my space, I'm fine with them. But like, don't touch me or get in my space.
You're hitting me, man. It's crazy.
Oh, gross.
It's like a war in there. And there's a couple after, and like I went around recently, just like every corner, just like sucking up all the spiders, and I had like 10 in the vacuum at one point because it's a basement, right? They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking, like, should I be taking these spiders away because they're good for flies? Like if I had that problem again, they might get caught in the fly nest, you know. Like, but at the same time, like the spiders are eating good, and then they're having babies. So I don't want. I don't want
a lot more in here.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, let's get the spiders out, get the flies out, fresh start, burn this place to the ground, save my grandma,
fumigate.
Yeah, with my grandma in my arms,
flies and spiders.
Yeah, fumigation, and then I have seriously, and I have my grandma in my arms, and we're outside, and they put the tarp over the house.
Yeah.
And then we go to the next chapter. We go to a motel. Me and my grandma.
They do like Monsters Inc. You know when they put that dome thing over and they they drill it down into the ground, and then the guy turns around with a detonator.
No, I remember that.
Blows it up in the ground. It's a sock. It's a sock, and it turns to dust.
Oh yeah.
They vacuum it up. He's like, all clear.
It's a sock.
We got a 2319. We got a 2319.
Yeah, that's my story of maggots. It's a gross one, but I guess it's part of life.
That is life, right? Like they're just trying to live. So can you get mad at them?
Get mad at myself, but at the same time, I can't get mad at
them. I get mad at them. I'd be like,
why are you in here again?
Enough. Funny you mentioned like punching and stuff. So I do this virtual exercise boot camp. It's called Empower Up. And
there's flies that come around in this VR set. And he punches flies.
I'm gonna start animating flies. No, I'm kidding. So I do my workouts are no equipment, hit style, full body, pretty much every time. I asked for feedback, and some of the clients were like, let's do a leg day one, and like an arm day and an ab day. Let's do body parts. I did that, and it was so hard. They're like, they're like literally like remind us to never ask for suggestions again, or to never suggest different themes again. I was like, okay,
this is whatever you want now at this point.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's because the thing is that
they'd say abs, and you go just ham on abs.
I didn't even go that ham. It's just hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and the exercises that I'm doing, like we're doing for a minute straight with 10 seconds of rest. Then you're on to the next exercise. So there's
And
not a
then
lot of
doing the
rest.
same muscle group often is like hard, right?
Straight up, they're just hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they were like, remind us to never suggest anything ever again. I was like, okay. But the reason is that full body, you burn more calories within the session. So for me, it's like, okay, well, we're only doing this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 times a week. We need the most bang for our buck. We have no equipment. We're doing hit style. It's a quick amount of time. Every workout's about 15 minutes. Some are 10, 12. One of them is like 20, depending on if I do like a circuit or like a no repeat workout. But anyways, what I'll often do is, maybe once a month or something, I will do like a kickboxing themed workout or boxing themed workout, and they really like them. So,
do you take your themes from when you do kickboxing and boxing? 'Cause I know you did that for a little bit too.
Yeah, kind of. So like, for example, kickboxing, boxing, I did a karate one. That was kind of fun. I'm gonna do a Muay Thai one. I'm gonna do like a Spartan.
So you have to do your
Spartan
research on
soldier one.
these.
Yeah, and it's cool because I'm interested in martial arts in the first place. I really want to get into kickboxing or even just boxing, and I'm doing a little bit of research on the stance, like kind of the methodology behind why you do this. Like, what does a boxing jab look like versus a Muay Thai jab? And it's cool to just kind of differentiate and understand and appreciate the different styles. And it's not like I'm an instructor. I make that very clear. Like, guys, I'm not a karate instructor. I'm not a boxing instructor. This is just a boxing themed workout.
Yeah, it's just
but
fun
it's a
for
lot
me,
of
fun for you. And
yeah,
like,
it's a lot of fun, and I get to learn a little bit about
what you
martial
want
arts.
to learn about.
Yeah. So it's cool. So I'm really excited. So I just sent them an update today in our group. It's on Patreon. So I posted saying, we're going to do more themed workouts. Hope you guys are excited. I'm having a lot of fun with these. I hope you are too. Also, no, that's it. Never mind. There's no also. But it's just fun. Like it's like a new flame, a new spark in this thing, because it does get a little
stale,
tediness, and stale. Like I'm just doing the similar but different exercises every time. It's like, cool. Well, let's do like kicks and blocks and ducks. And
do you add equipment?
At one point, I'm
equipment?
going to, whether it is a like a laundry detergent jug filled with water,
Nice.
and maybe you tape the cover so it doesn't fly everywhere, or we'll use like maybe a chair or a stool for added height or elevation. But as of right now, I haven't needed to,
Nice.
and not that I don't care to. Eventually, I probably should, but I mean, so far, I don't really repeat any exercise all that
And
much.
you're very much enjoying the themed ones.
The theme ones are just fun.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get creative, let's get fun.
Should like a once a week theme, or if it might be too hard for you, maybe like once every other week theme. You know?
It does take a little more time, but it is fun. I'm
So
thinking
it brings
about
more-
one a week, one every
Nice,
2 weeks,
nice,
something
nice,
like
nice.
that.
brings more
it's
joy
fun.
to you and them at the same time. Because
Yeah.
if they see you more joyful,
Yeah.
then they get
It's
joyful.
fresh and it's
it's
fun,
fresh.
and it's because when you're doing, squats or push-ups or yoga poses or anything, it can be very like, okay, this is what we're doing. Let's do rep number 2. With particularly martial arts, it's like punch, punch. You get to kind of work on your speed and focus on skill. And obviously every exercise is a skill, but this is
Like
a
learn
more
different skills than just like a basic. set.
dynamic, explosive.
Yeah,
like
yeah, nice.
let's feel like let's kick some ass. Literally, like let's
Yeah.
feel like we can kick some ass, and it's a lot of fun. And they enjoy it, so I enjoy it, and
And I
it's a
enjoy
good time.
hearing about it.
thanks. If you have any theme suggestions, let me know. Let me know in the
Spider-Man
comments.
themes.
Sp-
You wear a
Maybe,
costume.
I honestly could. Yeah, we could do like a Spider-Man. Maybe we should. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to. If you suggest a theme, and
To
I'll see what I
throw-
can do.
Throw fulls on the
Standing
exercise,
fulls?
Standing fulls.
No way.
Off buildings.
No way. Actually, so
Mm.
no,
Not a bad idea.
not that. Oh, wait a minute.
Jumping off buildings?
The
Why haven't I thought about this
the
before?
equations. I'm just like, actually, speaking of standing full, I pretty much have my standing full like on lock.
Yeah, for real.
So a standing back tuck is a standing backflip. You jump in the air, rotate backwards, land on your feet. It's a traditional backflip. A standing full is a standing 360 backflip. So you rotate backwards, land on your feet, but you're also twisting 360 degrees at the same time. It's a
fun.
twisting backflip, really.
Yo, man, wow, I missed that so much.
Honestly,
Folds are so fun.
dude, so many times I'm like, I should ask Mitch if he wants to cheer again.
Like I'd be down to tumble, but I'm not full cheer.
A team is totally different.
Do you go to tumble practices often? Like free? What are they called?
Open gym.
Open gyms, yeah.
So I cheer with PCT, Power Cheer Toronto in Mississauga. It is right. We used to do Wednesday practice at night, Sunday practice afternoon to evening. Now we're doing a longer Sunday practice. It went from 3 hours to now 4.
Okay.
And Wednesday practices at night are now optional. So it's kind of
Oh,
like
wow.
more freestyle. Like, we've been working on this all Sunday. Now you guys do what you want to do. Take as much time as you want to either work on your tumbling or work on this one specific skill. Because when it comes to cheerleading, there's a lot of different skill levels within a team. So one guy could be great, another guy could be medium, another guy could be a beginner. So when you're drilling something for the new guy, everyone has to drill it. And it's like the good guys are like, this is so easy, this is so boring, like why am I doing this? So now with this open gym, it's like, cool, I'm gonna work on the stuff that challenges me and that I need to perfect. But everyone can say that, whether you're amazing or you're medium or just beginning. I think it's gonna do really well. And the last practice we had on Wednesday, it's what, Friday today? So 2 days ago, was really awesome because he's like, okay guys, tumble for an hour. I was like, sweet, just do what you want to do, sweet.
Nice.
And then I was like, okay, now let's stunt together. Let's kind of drill a little bit, but also take time to yourself to like do what you want to do.
Sick.
So it's honestly, I'm enjoying it a lot.
So before
more.
you didn't have free open gym?
There was an open gym on Monday, but the gym is in Mississauga. I live in Toronto. People come from Barrie, from Guelph, from Cambridge or wherever. It's hard to go there Wednesday and Sunday for practice and then Monday for open gym. Monday was the open gym. So now there still is going to be an open gym, but for our team, our Wednesday practice is now more of an open gym style, which is awesome.
Enjoyable. Open gyms are fun.
Dude,
so that's my favorite part.
That's where you can push it.
Yeah.
That's where you can push it because it's not, guys, do drill A, B, and C for 20 minutes and we're all going to go together. We're going to go at the same time. Mm-hmm. Cool. Now it's do whatever you want, and we're here to critique you when you want it. Yeah.
Keep what we're learning in mind, so you can like practice.
Exactly. That. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Actually, that actually is, that could apply to other areas of your life too. Where, for example, I like to weightlift. I do a lot of powerlifting, which is the main lift: squat, bench, deadlift. Usually heavy. Not a lot of reps, and you're training your central nervous system to like the neural drive to contract a muscle to move heavy weight. But, if say I did that 2-3 times a week, sometimes I just want a day of working on mobility or just stretching or working on this. Like, I just want bigger arms. I still want to do powerlifting, but I actually want bigger arms. So one day to just do arms.
Open gym.
Yeah, that'd be my open gym. I think that actually helps you enjoy it more.
For sure. You get to like experiment, and experimentation is like the best way to succeed,
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the best ideas are like mistakes or something that you found out not doing what you should be doing, like if you're just sticking to powerlifting, you're never gonna like know that you love working on biceps,
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I think it was another podcast I was listening, or it was a book maybe, and the quote was something along the lines of, if you want to be creative or if you want to creatively push or challenge yourself, you shouldn't be doing the thing that you're trying to be creative.
Step out of your boundary 100%. I hear it all the time.
Isn't that crazy?
Music, it's cool. I hear it all the time.
Yeah, so it's like, if you want to, it's like, I want to be, I want to create like the sickest beat and be super creative. It's almost like, okay, well, don't do music. Like, go for a bike ride or go hang out with your friends or go to Wonderland, and you will likely find the creativity.
You mean like that? I was thinking like, I want to make this dope hip hop beat, but it's like, don't stay in hip hop. Like, do a Spanish beat, and then like that.
No, that applies to it too.
Yeah,
yeah. Cause it's just like, I want to go so
different.
hard in powerlifting. Well, do a little bit of bodybuilding. Do a little bit of Olympic lifting. That'll supplement your powerlifting.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? It's like, it's almost paradoxical or counterintuitive. It's like to be better at your thing, do other things.
Also like bittersweet. It's like, can't be stuck to one thing,
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's so cool. I love that idea of like balance and opposites and two sides of the same coin, etc.
2 coins, 1 guy.
Ew.
I don't know why I said that.
Oh my god. You know what was brought up in my attention the other day? Brought it to my attention was the Pain Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
I never watched it.
I never watched it either, but dude, that sounded
just
so
the stories
bad.
of it.
Was it real?
Apparently. It was like what? Maybe like 2010-ish.
I remember hearing about that, and like
somewhere around there. And just
before
like,
high school.
I feel like it was mostly guys doing crazy stuff. So explicit warning. There was some of them
you want to talk about it?
Cutting they were cutting parts of their body and like seeing what's underneath.
Isn't
that gross? Or just like literally doing like chopping things off.
Yeah. Like ain't nobody want to think about the Pain Olympics anymore.
Like, do you think
that was a time and a place, and that's gone.
Okay, the person who chopped his member off, like, do you think he had a good
Time?
social life.
Or a good time?
Like
Before, after,
life is
during?
so good for me. I actually don't even need this.
Let's get it. Let's film it.
Forget it. If I want to go hard in life, I have to do other things. Chop it off, put it in a jar.
Make the sickest beat you can.
DJ No Balls, No Dick. Drops the sickest album.
What else is good?
You think telekinesis is real? Or sorry, not telekinesis, telepathy. Telepathy.
Is that conversations between two people inside like their heads? Like
Yeah. So like I could telepathy is like I could talk to you without in my mind and you would hear it and talk back to me. Telekinesis, like kinetic,
it's like moving shit.
is moving shit with your mind, yeah. Think that's real?
Which one?
Either or.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. You know what is cool though? There are these
like,
you ever heard of the Hogan
closest.
twins?
Hulk Hogan? And his twin brother Marc Hogan?
Is Mulk? Hey brother!
It's Marc.
It's Mulk Hogan. So the Hogan twins are these conjoined twins, and I believe they're in British Columbia. They're sisters that are joined at the head, and I think they share the same brain, or their brains are connected. They can talk to each other in their heads without saying anything.
Are you serious?
They can tell each other jokes.
Think it's true or just like publicity?
I think it's true.
Oh.
I mean, like so it's not even like their heads are like two coconuts
It's like one
beside
head.
each other. It's like half and half is it's almost like one head with two faces at the bottom almost. And obviously it's not, it's a different shape, like two olives almost. But it's not like we're side by side. It's like I'm in your head. We share the same cranium.
I'd be panicking. I'd be like, this person's in my head. No
You're
freedom.
You're mad at them, just like punch them in the face.
Just think bad thoughts.
Isn't that crazy?
But they always say like twins have telepathy too, you know, where like twins have that sense and instinctual.
Yeah, I would say more like a sixth sense.
You think so?
Either that
Or like a special bond, like they've been growing up together, so they
you know what?
and like can act and react the same
yeah,
way.
now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's less of a I think it is a sixth sense. I don't think it's exclusive to twins. I think we all have it. I think it comes in the form of our gut intuition.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, but what?
Why'd you agree?
I don't know. I just said
Sixth
it.
Sense with Bruce Willis, the movie?
Oh, Sixth Sense. I've never seen it.
Oh, good movie.
But I think everyone has this innate gut intuition, sixth sense. I think some people have lost their connection to it.
Well, in the Sixth Sense, the movie, the Sixth Sense is talking to dead people.
Oh, that's where the I See
That's
Dead
what-
People comes from.
Yeah. It's from that movie.
Oh, I didn't know it was Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
It's his French name.
Bruce cut off his willies in the Pain
He is
Olympics.
the Pain Olympics. Bruce Willis, Pain Olympics. Yeah, so can both those six senses be two different things then? Or they both kind of
Like
like
twins
fluid?
versus like just our gut intuition.
No, the twins thing versus the seeing dead people thing. Because now we're both calling them sixth sense.
I think they're different. I think the Sixth Sense movie idea of seeing dead people, I think that's just like totally made up, or it's schizophrenia.
Wow. I knew a guy that sister saw dead people. But my dad's old boss's son, he told us that when we were outside in the backyard. He said that his son, my dad's boss, his son sees dead people. Remember that?
Yeah, kind of. But what does that mean? Like, hey Bob, how's it going? I know
Oh,
you're
it's
dead.
all good. He lays in bed.
Hey, Mulk Hogan, what's up, brother? I've been dead for 30 years. Okay. I don't know.
I
Like,
died in utero.
well, it's so.
It's like this deezed ass fetus.
I competed and failed in the Pain Olympics, brother. Well, I mean, like, so I do not see dead people. I don't think so. It's
How do you
hard.
know?
It's hard for me to even believe that that's a thing. Actually,
Fair,
funny you
fair.
say that, because some people, not that they don't know, but there was a story of a guy who had schizophrenia. He didn't know he had schizophrenia, or he did, I don't know. But he was in a library, and this guy asked to sit beside him. And he's like, yeah, sure. And after they're studying for a bit, they start telling jokes and they start laughing. And then, a couple minutes goes by and the librarian comes over to the first guy and is like, hey, like, I need you to stop because you're scaring people. He's like, what? And he looks over and the guy's not there.
Whoa.
So he has schizophrenia. So like maybe the guy disappearing after when he's like, oh, what are you talking about? Maybe that doesn't happen for people who claim they see dead people.
But for them, they believe that person's really there.
Well, belief is not rooted in facts.
But the fact is that this person's here. How much harder of a fact can you get than this person is right here talking to me? Feel?
To you or to the objective world?
But for him, it's a fact because he doesn't know what the objective world is thinking or sees.
So his truth.
Just like my blue might not be your blue because I might have colorblind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is blue. And you're like, no, that's actually green.
Well, I think something existing versus not existing is kind of different from what we both perceive to be a brown bench.
You think so? Because we both perceive this person being there or not.
Okay,
being
so
there.
take this for example. I see a cat on this bench. Do you see the cat?
No.
So for me, it's true.
And for
But
me,
to the world, is it true?
but who knows? Because now you're saying yes and I'm saying no.
Okay, what if every other person in the world says, I don't see a cat? And I'm like, guys, there's literally a cat right here. Then it's not that it can't
So
be
you're telling
true.
them, do you think you have to tell that person that that's not true to them? What they see is not true? So it's like,
Yeah,
it's
probably.
like, I see red. Everyone else, like, this is blue, dude. This is blue. So
And
now
you're
it's like,
just like-
but this is all I see is red. Now you're telling
Then
me
I-
I'm wrong, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what I see.
Yeah.
That would hurt so much.
Well, that's probably like a brain defect or like a well, yeah,
Chemical
brain
imbalancement.
defect. Like like your sensory systems are messed up or something. Because think about the guy in the library. He found out the guy wasn't there, but it was real to him. But to the librarian and everyone else who's getting freaked out, they're like, "No, he's not there. Like you're wrong." Yeah, but really, it's you have schizophrenia.
Okay, so let me add in what Beams brought up recently about how so we're talking about microdosing mushrooms, me and this guy from work. We're talking the benefits and what the effects are and how it plays out in your mind and stuff. So he was talking about how it's supposed to help you connect neurons in your brain that recently like haven't been there your whole life kind of thing, and it's just like reconnects them and you can like see further and feel deeper than what you have before because those neurons are connected. Where it's like he compared it to a dog being colorblind.
And then all of a sudden we're connecting the color in that dog's brain.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like what makes us believe that we are the ultimate sight. There might be more.
I think
that
that's
person that
true.
can see dead people or see the cat on the bench might be seeing more.
Okay, two things. So there are, I think it's a shrimp that can see ultraviolet light or something. But there's ultraviolet light. There's all these different spectrums of light that we don't see. We only see the RGBQ, whatever I just started saying LGBTQ. The RGB, whatever the color spectrum is that we know, right? Rojibiv, yeah. There's more that we just can't visibly see, but it's here.
Exactly.
So like, there's a thing where if
so
you have
what's the difference between that being maybe a person being there,
I was just
seeing
gonna
a ghost?
say maybe they see in another dimension.
Exactly. And we think that we can only see this dimension, and everyone can see this dimension, and it's like that's the cap. But maybe it's not the cap because who puts the cap on that? Because another example is that we can only hear up to 20,000 hertz. But like whales can hear up to like 100,000 hertz. There's a whole sound volume spectrum that is like of frequencies that are way too high for us. And what we think, only because we can now learn that that the spectrum goes further than our 20,000 kilohertz, that we start to accept that there's possibilities.
I think the only difference, well, I was gonna say that the hertz that we can't hear are there whether we hear them or not.
Exactly, but then science.
But with the specifically dead people argument, it's like, are these dead people here whether we see them or not?
Exactly.
I think that'd be.
But we don't know because we haven't like explored that topic. We've explored sound. We've explored color.
Let's just say people who die go to the seventh dimension. If we had seventh dimension goggles, would we see them? That's what we would basically have to do.
Yeah.
First, we'd have to find out where dead people go.
That's a whole nother topic. So with the topic from the guy at my work, he was saying that like dogs, I'm sure dogs see black and white, and they're like, this is it. Like I see everything. Like this is the world, you know? It's like we're coming in with all these colors, and then that fish is coming in with more colors.
The shrimp.
Yeah, I love shrimp.
I love shrimp.
You want to get some shrimp?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
So who's to say that this one person that sees this other person or sees this dead person is wrong?
So imagine.
So now we're all like, you're wrong, and he's like, but I'm not.
Imagine all the people who are schizophrenic are actually like higher level beings that can see
like hypersensitive
dimensions.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is actually here. All you guys actually can't see it.
Yeah. But then we
crazy.
shun this person. We're like, yo, you're schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You're seeing things that aren't actually there. But he's actually like, I'm just like obviously he can't think this way because society would put you in this bubble, but it's like in reality he might be just like a superhuman, you know? Like,
X-Men.
yeah. Sees dead people or sees people that aren't there.
Interesting. There are definitely examples in history where that's happened before, where one person was like, guys, well, in the like ultraviolet light, like that's actually the thing. It's like, guys, there's ultraviolet light. You can't see it, but it's here. And everyone's like, shut
You're
up,
an idiot,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, you're an idiot. And then he proved it. And then it's like,
Exactly.
okay, shoot, now, okay, it's true. All right, we got to
Even like Earth is flat. It can go with anything.
Yeah. Wait, the Earth is flat?
It is flat.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. But anything, you know, like for the first person that saves around, they're probably just like, you're an idiot. Look at the map. We have it. It's flat.
Yeah, they used to think that the sun revolved around Earth.
Yeah. Crazy.
Idiots.
What
The
if
sun revolves around the moon. These people are so dumb.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy to think that it's like we don't know it all. So how can you
we know so little.
We know so little, so how
Yeah.
can you like judge and like put barriers and limits on things when we don't know anything? Is it because they're like this person with schizophrenia is different that you like are maybe afraid of them?
Yeah. We fear things we don't know or don't understand.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Like if all of a sudden two dolphins were like not together and now they're together and hanging out and they're doing this without even us hearing it, we'd be like, whoa, like stay away.
Wait, dolphins?
Yeah.
Like I'm in the water?
You're in the water and like these two dolphins all of a sudden are just like spinning around and like doing great things and you can't hear anything. But reality is now that we know that they're speaking in a higher frequency,
Dolphin knees.
dolphinese, they're speaking dolphinese.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking Englishnese.
Mhm.
These knees.
These knees. The bee's knees.
Like we don't fear that, you know? Like if we were in the water and dolphins did that, we'd be like,
And
oh,
they're like, hey
speaking-
dude, check us out. We're actually just doing a cool dance. And you're like, oh my god, these dolphins are performing a sacrificial ritual.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about to die. They're gonna eat me. But it's like that. It's only when we know is when we don't fear, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. When we're certain and we know.
That can go so far though.
Yeah, it's like at what point do you draw the line where it's like, okay, guys, hold on, like dragons aren't here with us now. I don't know what I was trying to say, but it's like you have to draw the line somewhere where it's like,
Yeah, because then
I
it's
can't just believe that everything is literally possible.
because then you're in this world of like what ifs, you know? And like,
yeah, and then it's just
what
like,
if there's actually dragons, or what if there actually
Yeah.
is like neon purple extravaganza color?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a nice color.
neon
It's
purple
my room is-
extravaganza.
Yeah, my room's
You ever heard of
neon
that
purple
shrimp that sees neon purple extravaganza?
the dog that sees neon purple extravaganza for the first time.
Its bark goes from ruff to like bark.
Woof woof. Like a glass of wine.
Bark.
Like you watch Rick and Morty
Yeah.
when they give, I don't know what the dog's name is. Bubbles, Fluffy. I don't remember. They give the house dog. Rick gives him like a brain that can
Yeah,
learn.
doesn't it turn into like a it
Turns
gets like a cyborg suit and like tries to kill him or
yeah,
something?
like a mecha dog, and then like it can like feel and like love.
Dude, you see those
Like
dogs?
loves Morty and like pets Morty's head and shit. And, like Morty's the only one alive in the whole
Oh
world.
jeez. Oh jeez, dog. You ever see those videos on TikTok where I think the dog's name is Bunny and it has this board on the ground with all these different buttons and each button says, you know, yes or no or sad. And the owner will talk to Bunny and say, Bunny, like, why are you sad? And then the dog will like look at you, the camera, then look down at the buttons, walk over and
Like,
press like
walk.
mom, gone, Bunny,
Damn.
sad. Like, oh, there's a mirror on somewhere in the room and the dog is like pressing buttons and it's like, oh, what's going on? And it goes, what's that? And it goes to the mirror and looks at itself in the mirror. Or like, who's that?
But how do you teach it what who's and that means?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy though? It's like it's
But
realizing someone or something is in that mirror and it's like, what is that?
Or
How crazy.
yeah, you think about that, but or it could just be like teaching the dog to press two buttons then walk to the mirror.
It very well could
Yeah.
be, hey Bunny, press who's that?
Or press
Go,
button,
and then
button,
record.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For all we know, who knows? But
Who's to say not?
I mean, animals are intelligent too. I mean, so there's bonobos that we teach language. I think it's either similar buttons or sign language, where they literally have conversations with humans. Obviously, it's like broken English and shit, but
Or the elephants that can paint. And
oh,
paint
that's
nice.
just pure talent. Yeah, they're freaking
That's
awesome.
sick.
There's a dog that paints too.
What's he paint?
He paints a flower, and it's really good.
Wow.
Like, well, I mean, it looks
With
like
color?
it looks like a toddler painted it,
But
but
like good for a dog. Has no
with
thumbs.
color, with color.
Wow, we can't see color.
I don't think dogs are actually completely colorblind. I think they can only see certain colors.
Also,
Because there's humans like that too. My old boss in London, she could, I think something like her pinks looked purple or something like that. Like it was partially colorblind. And my stepsister's boyfriend is the same way. It's his blues are green or something like that. So every like you know if there's a room of like blue and green, everything would look green. So yeah,
there's a famous painter that used to just paint it with like his colorblind and like it would come out beautiful. But also, who's to say that dogs see in black and white? Like the dog didn't tell us that, you know?
Black,
Black, white.
I think what they do is they take a dog who's passed away or whatever, and they'll dissect its eyes and
Scoop them out with a spoon.
yeah, based like an ice cream scoop.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. But based on the structures that they see within the dog's eyes relative to ours, they reverse calculate. Oh,
Okay.
they probably only see bright orange. That's why a lot of dog toys are like bright neon colors.
Fair.
So like, I think I can only imagine that's how they do it because I don't think there's a way to insert a chip into their brain that shows us on a screen what they look at.
Or even if like you were to do that with the chip, who knows if that chip's right or like the right frequency of whatever to figure out what colors
Exactly,
they see.
yeah.
Yeah, there's so many factors that are there.
You ever hear that the sound that I believe it's mushrooms or different types of fungi
Yeah.
that
They hook it up, they hook it up,
and it's like
yeah.
it sounds like the song Intergalactic by Beastie Boys. It sounds like that.
I watched
But it's
the
like
video.
but it's like imagine a drop of water like a yeah, like that. I tried. Imagine that, but it's like it's like distorted and warped and
yeah,
like and then you'll like put it next to another one and instead of going you put it next to the other one, touch it, it goes and they start talking back and forth. That's crazy.
Crazy.
They're
I
talking.
remember watching. I just like put it on and just like do something, and it's like it's music. It's like
It is.
making
It is
sounds.
music. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Everyone watch that. It's a sick. Those are
That's
a sick series.
cool.
Yeah.
I have stories on stories today. I was at a park today.
Mushrooms speaking.
Mushroom. No, they were. There was so many squirrels. I was at High Park today. There was so many squirrels and chipmunks. This is sad. There was a hawk. It like swooped. It's been swooping by all day. Swoops by us. Slams into a tree. Which really, it slammed into a chipmunk. Grabbed the chipmunk, flew to a branch, and I guess just ate it.
Gone.
But it was loud. It was like imagine, like a 2x4 piece of wood like smacking a tree. That's kind of what it sounded like. It was loud. I was like, oh my god, and then it just flew away with this tiny little chipmunk.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was watching this video. I believe it was hawks, but hawks like, was it hawks? I remember, but they use the momentum of their body to kill. Like they go as fast and as hard as they can into the ground. Yeah, with
their knuckles. Yeah.
They punch them. They go in and they just knock them out, and then they grab them and dip. Crazy.
All right, guys. The next Empower Up workout is hawk knuckle punch. Hawk boxing. Hawksing.
Pain Olympics. Knuckling your nuts.
Oh my god! Just being like tied down with all your limbs, and just all you hear is like
The hawk.
That falcon scream. Like just fuck it. You can
there's like
see it coming. Like oh god.
There's like a picture
Here
of
it
a mouse on your nuts. It goes right for your nuts.
Just like obliterates. Just there's just dust.
You think they pop? Let's not talk about that.
They can. They're
Poppable?
imagine like the way that I imagine it is think of your intestines, how they all look like a bunch of like tubes rolled up. That's kind of what testicles look like.
True.
Because there's all those. It's tubules,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it is.
So in a sense, like you could puncture or burst your intestine. You could puncture or burst anything. We're full of. Okay, here's the thing.
I'm full of sacks.
I was gonna say we're full of sack. We are technically.
We're a
So
huge sack.
your body's made up of
Meat sacks.
bones, your central nervous system, as in your brains and your nerves that go out to your muscles. You have connective tissue, all these different things. So each muscle is wrapped in fascia. So fascia is connective tissue. Basically, it's like saran wrap. So imagine if you have like a slab of muscle on my arm here, just like in space. It's fully wrapped in this saran wrap, and every group of muscles is also wrapped in saran wrap. So let's say I have 1, 2, 3 muscles in my forearm. They're each wrapped in saran wrap, and my entire form is also wrapped in saran wrap. And plus we have bones.
So you're saying that saran wrap is a sack?
Yeah, in a sense.
Nice.
And then we have bones and let's just call them anchor points. They're called origins and insertions, where your muscles attached with tendons to the bones to move us, right? So we have structure, we have form. But if you were to take away all our bones and ligaments, we would literally just be a pile of like
Mush.
flesh on the ground. Like we would just like be like a blob. Isn't that weird?
Think there's blob people out there?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
So if I took the bones out of my finger, it'd just be like a mush, like a mushy
I
sack.
mean, you would probably still have what
Shape.
looks like fingers, but it'd just be like
mushy
your
sack.
finger. If you did this with your finger, like if you pointed up to the sky, it'd probably just fall and collapse in
into
on
itself.
itself.
But if I
Yeah.
held it like down, would it just be like a sack of fluid? Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Oof.
It would probably retain somewhat of its shape. Maybe not actually. Like maybe your palm were turned into like a glove filled with water or air,
Is it
like a
a-
ball, because it no longer has your bones and ligaments and tendons holding your flesh to these bones.
Oh.
If the bones are gone, it might just like
Like loose.
turn into a ball.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
We're just a sack of
Sack of sacks.
muscles and fluids and cosmic dust.
With the sock. I don't remember the joke you made earlier with Monsters Inc.
Yeah. 2319. Just like they drill a dome thing onto the cement ground with a sock underneath and they blow it up.
They do it with a human this time. A flesh human. A sack of flesh human.
That
Blow it
would
up.
suck. Okay, you want to hear a deep do
Did
you have a
you
deep
hear that?
do you have a deep topic? No, I didn't hear that.
Listen quietly. That's a 99 volume.
99 volume,
yo.
but grandson and friend ain't one. Okay, do you have a deep topic you want to talk about?
Yeah,
Let's do one.
Okay. Would
Okay.
you have one too?
I just made it up, so you go. I just made it up right now.
Okay. So it's the idea of, obviously it's hard to say an idea, but it's like trusting somebody as a partner with independence.
Okay.
So what does that mean to you?
Based on just what you said right now with no further explanation, trusting probably a life partner, a romantic partner, with them being able to be themselves independent of who they are with you. So they have their own life, their own job, their own aspirations, dreams, schedules, morning routines. Trusting them to, I would assume you're talking about romantic relationships. So
Yeah.
trusting them to come back to you every night, to still want to spend time with you, even though they have their own goals and their own schedules and their own priorities external to you.
So where does that trust come from?
Where does that trust come from?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, if we just go on objective facts,
Like
verbal.
would it be you internally and them internally, or trust that you've created with them?
Well, some people have verbal agreements like, "Hey, life partner, I need this from you. I know you have your dreams and aspirations. I want that for you, but I do need X amount of time per week. I would love to talk to you every day, one call, texting for an hour minimum." So there's that trust of, okay, cool, I can fulfill that for you. Trust
Trust
that
in
I
that.
will fulfill this role for you.
Trust in that being the truth, and that's what.
And trust that I can uphold my truth. Because it's probably true for the recipient to be like, yeah, I can do that. I trust myself to do it. I might slip up.
Trust yourself to adhere to trusting them. Is what you're saying? Trust within yourself to adhere to the trust that you have in them. Does that make sense?
I think that makes like a very abstract sense, yeah.
Okay. So to you, where is that trust found?
If not
More
verbal,
so in yourself?
If not verbal, I would say an intangible feeling and connection of, hey, I got your back, you got mine. Because rarely, I don't think a lot of couples say, hey, I got your back, you got mine. It's more just like, kind of just a known, like, kind of like the head nod. Like,
Yeah,
I got
but
you.
stuff happens all the time. So then, of things going wrong. So then, would that trust in them come from yourself rather than a verbal agreement? It has to be, because for you to accept them, accept the trust that you're connecting with them, like on this verbal agreement, you have to trust yourself to trust them, right?
I mean, I'm not
Am I jumbling
sure.
this up way too much?
I'm not sure, so maybe explain further, but I would say you have to trust that you are worthy of being loved and trust that you are you are this person for them, and trust that they are telling the truth when they say you're the one for me. I'm gonna fulfill this role for you. You can trust me.
Okay, so how do you tell that to somebody that has been hurt by trust in the past? Because it happens all the time.
I think I think it's one thing to say it, which is a big help for that person who has been damaged or hurt in the past.
But
Sorry.
what if the person that has been damaged by trust in the past got a verbal agreement once before?
I think, well, that's what I'm getting to. I think it's just a matter of, cool, I've said it, now let me show it to you.
So
And not that it's easy, like, cool, he's showing it, I have no more trust issues, but it takes time of building that trust, that intangible connection. I don't know if there's another word for trust, but just like, he has my best interest in mind. He wants the best for me. He wants me to be happy. So what's another word for trust? I have faith in him or her. I have conviction. I believe his intent is where I want it to be, or where I would hope that it would be.
so what do you tell someone that has no faith and can't find the
I don't
faith?
think you. Well, I don't think you can tell them. I think it's a showing. It's a telling and showing. Because they've probably been lied
Sorry,
to.
I'm talking about on the receiving end, right? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
like the person. If a girl said to me, Mark, like I have major trust issues, this and that happened, I'd say, thank you for letting me know. I will like trust that I will do my best to fulfill the role that you need and be there for you when you need me to. But like I may slip up.
But she's saying she can't trust you because she has hurt damage in the past.
Then why are you together if she can't trust you?
So how does that? So that person needs to build back the trust.
Within themselves, whether that's forgiveness or acceptance or just moving on. They need to, I was gonna say trust in others again, but I think from the damage side, they need to trust in themselves that, again, I'm worthy of love. I am a person of value. I have something to give, and I do deserve love, relationship, compassion.
Okay, so now they understand that feeling right there, that they deserve love, that they deserve compassion.
Okay.
How do they?
Like decide who to give that trust to.
Yes.
I think that'll come down to that feeling, that gut feeling.
Okay.
Because when you meet someone and whether it's a coworker or a stranger or a friend of a friend, and like immediately they're like, "Hey Mitch, how's it going, dude? Like, oh, nice to meet you. Like, I've heard so much about you. Like, wow, this guy's like super friendly. Like, I feel like I could trust to just like trust
Say
you,
something-
to
yeah.
like 80% of the things that I would trust in someone right off the bat.
Yeah.
There's ways to
It's a nice
convey
feeling.
that trust, right?
With a partner. So you're saying that this partner
Partners
should be
with
the
people in general.
so to lead into a partnership, that person, a good way to fix that would be finding trust within someone that can seem trustworthy right off the bat, kind of thing.
Seem trustworthy and just like be trustworthy.
So then that would be like building more connection with that person to not probe, but like in a sense probe to see if they're trustworthy.
Yeah,
of the person.
I think
Like you don't
I
want to
think
probe because you want to be like, hey, here's a test, here's a test.
ultimately I do think that it is the hurt person's responsibility to overcome, accept, move on, figure out their trust issues, insecurities, etc. However, that does often bleed into their relationship with the other person, and then it
For sure.
sometimes becomes their responsibility, sometimes it affects the relationship. But ultimately it's like, well, you have trust issues because of XYZ. Cool, I will do my best to like help you get to a better place, but ultimately, like, I can't save you. People have to save themselves.
Okay, fair.
But not everyone realizes that,
For
like
sure,
not
for sure.
everyone
And
knows.
like I feel like time is a big factor of that too. Like over time you may those scars hurt less. End of
Yeah.
the day, so then you can trust again.
Yeah.
Without like you can work on it as well, but time will also be a factor to help work on it.
Yeah, easy to say,
Easy
much
to
harder
say,
to do. Like
for sure.
you mentioned scars as a good example because I get cut from a knife. It's like, oh, I'm never using a knife again. Eventually, I get over it, but I still see the scar every day that reminds me. Oh yeah, like don't forget to be careful around knives. Like
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, right. So like you're always reminded, and
Yeah,
but
yeah.
some people may see that scar and be like, oh my god, I can't think of knives ever again. Like every
For
time
sure.
they see it, some people say, I've learned from this. I'm stronger now.
And
I think that
know
just depends on the person.
That can't happen.
It can happen, so be wary. Know how to protect myself for future knife cutting situations.
Wow, that was really good.
But I don't know if I fully answered your
The
initial
first
question.
initial question was trusting someone with independence. It was based on independence versus.
So
So
elaborate a little more on that. Like, give me an example, and then ask again what your question is.
like I can give you an extreme example,
Sure.
like going off to war, or like going away for 2 weeks. Now you have to trust in the 2 to 3 weeks. You have to trust in the person's
Like, not going to
independence.
cheat on you,
Is that the only fear that trust?
or they're going to lose interest.
There's another fear that's possible. How do you trust in someone's independence where that independence doesn't lead to a change of thought or a change of
Like feeling or
or
loss of
leading to
feeling.
hurt or anything?
I think the answer is in the question. You just have to trust them. What else can you do? Because ultimately, I could be head over heels in love with a girl, and I go off to war for a year. What are the odds that we stay together? I don't know, 50-50. And I would say to her, I'm always going to love you. I'm always going to do this and that. But like, what if I meet a girl that sweeps me off my feet, that I don't have feelings
Now,
for the initial girl?
yeah.
Or if the initial girl sweeps my feet from under me, then that's all I'm going to think about while I'm off to war. But
So now
but like
does that person have to like try to sweep the other person off their feet now?
I don't. Well, I mean, I don't. I hope that you wouldn't have to try to do it. I hope it would come semi naturally, or you understand that work is involved in relationships. So I have to try to be a good partner to my partner, or I
But
have to
is it
try to keep this flame going. I get that,
okay?
but I don't think you should try to. Um, I was gonna say create things that aren't there, but that's. I think that's part of it. You do have to create. Like, I'm sure when we've had girlfriends, it's like I want her to feel like I want her. So I'm gonna set up this date, and I'm gonna buy us a bottle, and I'm gonna do this to make her feel special and wanted. I think that is creating something from nothing, which makes sense. But I don't think you should create an image or um like fabricate something that has no foundation or grounding to it.
Give an example of
Because
that.
um like oh, hey, Kathy, my girlfriend, did you know that I'm going off to war, and I'm like, I got promoted to general? Isn't that so great? Really, you not promote? Like, that's just a lie. I don't think you need to fabricate your status, or justify what
Who
you
you
mean to
are,
them. Yeah, who you are,
or
like
who you even mean
the
to
value
yourself.
that you bring. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I think that it makes sense that people just love you for who you are, whether you're a soldier, commander, private, or entry level, whatever, or if you're a plumber, or if you work at McDonald's, or if you're a CEO. Like, ultimately, I would hope that those things wouldn't matter. But how could you say that? Because people need to know that my future with this person is going to be okay,
So
financially, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, all these different
yeah.
things. So that's a factor.
So I have another question then with that. So say you're going off to war or whatever, and you want to wow this person, not just necessarily with grand gestures, but just moments with things, with just wow them in like you said, you want that to happen where like sweep you off your feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you do that and you put all this effort in, but the chance of them leaving is still the same.
Yeah, but that's every relationship.
Hmm.
Like, we know people that have been in a rock solid relationship where one day the girl had a thought or met someone and was like, oh shoot, like, do I actually want this? And then, a month later they break up.
That hurts so much.
It
Just
hurt, of
thinking
course it
about
hurts,
it.
but that's just life.
Hmm.
That's just what it is, right?
So
Like,
would you suggest not thinking about it, or would you suggest like accepting it, or just like what's your
I
move?
think not thinking about it, being ignorant, purposefully ignorant, is not a good idea.
Ignorance is not a good idea, but ignorance is bliss.
Well, sorry, ignorant to the idea that I don't need to get over this. Like, I don't need to accept that she's not gonna leave me one day. Like, I'll just deal with it when it comes. Like, I think people should be prepared mentally and emotionally to say, like, of course I love my partner, but there is a chance that one day she doesn't want to be with me anymore. And I hope that I would say to myself, that would suck, but I just want them to be happy, whether that's with me or not. Because I care about them more than I care about us together. Of
For
course I
sure,
love us together,
because
but I love her independently of us, that I want her to be happy with me, without me. whatever that looks like. But like that's so hard to say, and like I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've just been able to say that off the bat. Um,
We had that same talk about a couple months ago about that.
yeah, like where you're left off at the
The altar.
right at the end of a relationship. Like obviously it sucks, but eventually I hope that people come to a place where it's like I just want them to be happy, and it's not with me, and that's fine. Like I don't want them to be with me if they're not happy.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good point. And some people, I find it, maybe it's jealousy or like fear, sadness that they can't accept the fact that you want them to be happy without you, you know?
Yeah. It's like I don't know if it's the right word that I'm using, but it's almost like you're attached to the idea of you together, and you're attached to this life that you've built up and created in your head, this vision, when it's not that you should be detached, but I guess time and place for everything. Like, yeah, if they break up with you, it's like, well, that was just an idea in your head that you fabricated and built up.
The idea of you guys staying together?
Yeah, and whether
That's not a good way to look at it, though.
well, hopefully you would only have to think this way if they one day just got up and left. If you're in the moment and everything feels good, you don't have to think one day they're gonna leave me. I have to be okay with it. You just enjoy it in the moment. Because like I don't think that's a good way to think either. But if one day your partner just gets up and leaves, of course it's gonna suck. It's gonna take time to heal. But I do think that ultimately you want them to be happy, or find the silver lining in your shitty situation.
Yeah,
But
that
like
they're ultimately looking for
super hard
happiness.
to do. It's your mindset, it's your perspective, it's how you grew up, it's how you see relationships,
Yeah.
it's how you see people and that person individually, how you see yourself. So it's all these different factors that come together to ultimately serve, or I guess disserve you. Or yeah.
Yeah,
serve
for
you.
sure. So bringing it back to independence, you believe that giving them independence will make them that attachment to you stronger?
Yeah.
Explain.
Uh if you love a flower, let it go or let it grow. Whatever that's whatever the saying is, right? Like this flower is so beautiful. You pick it, you just killed it. This flower can no longer be beautiful. Well, I mean, maybe there's death and beauty, or there's beauty and death, but like you've the thing you love and the thing you think is so beautiful, you just killed it. You ended it. So
Because you wanted it so bad.
you wanted it so bad that you
Wow.
picked it out of the ground.
Nice.
Same thing with relationships, where it's like, I love my girlfriend so much. I want the best for her, but it's only with me. She can't see other guys. She can't have other friends. It's just me. I want her all to myself because she's so beautiful. That's constrictive, restrictive. That's terrible. Like, what kind of life?
What
is
would you
that for the
suggest for someone to do if they acknowledge that what you just said, that they are doing that to their partner?
girl?
How would you morph changing it?
Well, I think ultimately the goal would be, I love my partner so much that even though they have this job completely separate from mine, I want them to be the greatest like CEO of this company, or like
At their own independent thing.
build your craft, master your domain, like do you live your best life independent of me, but like come back to me, like let me still be that person.
But you telling that to someone that is possessive and that wants to.
Oh yeah, sorry. So at that point, it's like, dude, you're attached. Like, stop it. You're setting all these expectations that are never gonna be fulfilled. You are doing her a disservice now, or him or her, whoever your partner is, because you're restricting their life, and they can't be happy anymore because they're in chains.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you pick one. You either restrict them and they're not happy, and then you hate each other and you break up, or it turns abusive, or terrible, or ends, or whatever, or you let them be free and trust in them to come back to you. It's like, I love this butterfly, all these analogies, eh? I love this butterfly so much. It's like my pet. It knows you. It comes back to you. Fly away, be free, have fun in the backyard or wherever you want to go. Just come back to me at night so you don't get eaten by night owls or whatever. Like you let them go to flourish and to grow and to do everything they want to do. And here's a good example. You and your girlfriend or your partner, whoever is listening, they love someone corny. Let's say Justin Bieber 2008 era, or whatever era he blew up in, and it's like, oh, he's so corny, this and that. But your partner just loves him. And they're like, oh, Mark, like I want to go to the concert. Will you go with me? It's like, no, fuck that. Like, I don't want to do that. It's like, all right, well, that sucks for me, and I wish you would come with me, and now I kind of resent you for not letting me go. Or you could say, you love Justin Bieber so much, let's go. Let's have a great time. I'm gonna like put you on my shoulders, like I'm gonna do a sign or whatever. Like you do these things for your partner,
Yeah.
so that they have the best time of their lives, because at the end of the night, they're coming back home with you, and they're gonna be telling themselves, "I can't believe my Mark or you or Mitch or whatever my partner let me have such a good night with like my idol Justin Bieber. Now I'm back at home with my partner, and it's so great. I'm so happy that they let me do that."
So bring that to a real life situation where, say, like, you got a guy that's, I don't, not jealous, I don't know what the word is, but just angry at like his girl going to a club. But that's more realistic than the Justin Bieber situation,
Yeah,
where like
yeah.
she wants to go to the club,
Yeah, look good
but
with
he's
their
like,
friends and
yeah,
shit.
he's like, don't look good, don't go.
Then dump his ass.
But
Unless she's
For
literally
sure.
flirting and dancing on guys, like that's different. Okay, then you
So-
dump her ass. But like,
so you, no wait, no, how do we rate that the trust thing?
how can the guy
Independence.
how can the guy trust her to like not mess around and cheat
Yeah,
on
because
him?
people have like that issue where like they can't
You just have to trust that
like let it go, you know?
I trust my partner to tell me the truth and to be faithful to me and
Just back to the trust thing.
and to fight for our relationship when I'm not around.
Mm-hmm. Another good example was I wanted to say it earlier, but it's like with the butterfly thing. Like, say you love surf and turf, you're like, yo, surf and turf. I have
I
it
do
every
love
year on my
surf and
birthday.
turf.
You like, I have it every year on my birthday. You have it every year on your birthday, and then like 1 year, you're just like, okay, I had it every month this year. Now it's like I want it every week, and then by the time you have it every week, you're like, I don't want this no more.
Okay.
I'm done with surf and turf. Let me go into lobster tails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you saying like I
That's
love
like
my
the-
girlfriend, like I'm gonna see her every month, now every week, now I'm bored of her?
Well, not necessarily that, but it's the butterfly, like, sorry, the flower thing where it's like so good that you want it and you take it, but then it isn't good in the end
It's-
because either the flower dies or you're sick of this food now and you're like, I don't want this food anymore.
It's like use and abuse.
Yeah,
Too much of any good thing is
it's
too
not
much.
it's
right?
not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can't eat chocolate.
So, like,
every day.
I love my girlfriend. I want to hold her. I want to spend time with her. Let's equate that to use. The abuse would be I'm holding on to her and I'm never letting go. I want to spend time with her, but it's only with me. She can never
Mhm.
spend with anyone else. That's the abuse part now. That's
But
where
that-
it's too far.
Okay, but then now you're looking at the future and you're looking at moving in with this person. Not without the toxicity, like you're just moving in with
Yeah,
this person.
okay.
Is that too much now? Because
No, well, I mean,
now all of a sudden that girl you used to see once a week, you're seeing her every day because you now live together. Or the partner that you
mean-
see every week, you're now
I
living.
mean, ideally, that's what you want, right? To see this person every day. And you have your own lives. That's where the independence comes from. It's like you have your own job, you have your own friends. Like there's times when I'm not going to see you, even though we come home together every night. That's still the part that I look forward to. But like, I want you to go have fun with your friends and
Mhm.
see your sister and see your mom and like.
But I think everything
Yeah.
changes when you were to move in. You know, like friends start to mesh because you're doing everything together, kind of thing. You know.
Yeah, you would hope that it's a clean mesh and everyone gets along. You just hope for that.
Nice. Okay.
You
Yeah, that's cool. That answers it.
think so?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think about it? Anything
Which part?
different?
We talk about so many things. Which
Anything
part?
different? Anything that you've wanted to say at any point? As like you know what, I believe in this too, and here's this.
Probably, but I wish I would have said
That's
that.
far back.
Yeah, like I don't remember exactly what.
We'll come back to it. We'll
Yeah.
come back to it another episode. We'll talk about something similar.
No, I agree. Like, giving them independence, and like it's the same thing as like you wouldn't want your independence stripped. You know, you wouldn't want your partner checking out with you or like making sure you can't hang out with your boys or like
Yeah.
you know, it's just like you gotta give what you want to receive, right?
Yeah. Treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Where it's like
The world is your mirror too.
for
what
sure.
what you put out, you'll receive back.
Where
Whether
it's like,
that's good or
I
bad.
wouldn't want my partner to be like, you can't wear that or you can't go to the club
Yeah,
or you can't work in a restaurant. It's
If
like
my girl told me that, unless it was literally like I'm wearing a thong to the club, which I wouldn't do. Like what the hell? If I wore like a shirt and pants and they were form fitting because I like to show off my body because I build it up or do whatever, right? Or just like the clothes. If my girl said to me like, Mark, you can't wear that. Like you are exposing too much. Girls are gonna be all over you. It's like that's really unfortunate that you feel that way because I just like this shirt
Mhm.
on its own by
And
myself.
look how
And,
I
like,
feel in
it's
it.
upsetting me that you want to place not boundaries but put me in a box of things I can and can't do.
especially when it's things that I like.
Yeah, things I like that are totally external to our relationship. Like I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get attention. I'm not trying to. I just like these clothes, and you know what? I'm going to wear these clothes not because I want to defy your rules, and people just do want to break rules. Like people
For sure.
love doing what they shouldn't do, but because I'm gonna wear these clothes because I don't want to get to a place where I resent you for you restricting me.
But
So,
at the same time,
but like you wouldn't say that. You would just be like, okay, like chill out. You're being silly. Like that's not
but
fair.
what I'm gonna say is like that it doesn't always come off that way. It doesn't always come off as like, Mark, you can't wear that shirt. It's probably like, maybe like that shirt's better, or like.
At that point, you just say, "Oh yeah, it is better," or "Yeah, I like the shirt better actually." So I'm gonna wear it.
That's up to you to decide. Like,
Yeah,
it's not like coercion. Is that the word?
coercion. Yeah.
Coercion.
Yeah, like coercing them into
Like choosing another.
this one's
option.
better, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
it does.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's.
Like end of the day.
I mean, that's manipulative.
At the end of the day, you're the
of
one making the
girl.
decision to wear the shirt. You have the shirt if you want to wear the shirt, but they're trying to say wear that shirt. Maybe they genuinely think that shirt's better.
Then at that point, it's okay. Well, what does your gut feeling tell you? Is there more signs outside of this scenario where it's like, you know, she's really like
she really doesn't like that
twisting my arm to like pull this shirt. Like, is that weird? Is there other feelings involved or whatever?
But yeah, the basic point that I would say is that I wouldn't want that shit be done on me, so I'm not gonna do it anymore because I don't care enough. Like, I don't have the energy to deal with someone saying that kind of stuff to me, so I would never. Like, it's different though, because like a lot of guys that are in that situation don't do much, and they like hang out with their boys, or like girls like to party and have fun and like hang out with the girls, you know. This is if we're in a heterosexual relationship, you know. But it's like maybe the act of doing nothing is like bugging them out.
That they're like, I wish you spent time with your friends. Like you spend too much time with me.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Dude, like, if I lived with my girlfriend, my theoretical girlfriend, and I just all day, every day, I just was with her all the time, I would eventually be like, hey,
I'm gonna go hang out with my friends.
I'm gonna go hang with my friends, and maybe tomorrow you can hang out with yours. Like, let's just do something.
But then, what if you saying that gets them mad? Like, you want me to hang out with my friends? You don't want to hang out with
me? Like, yeah, we're spending too much time together.
Well, that's where
that's what COVID, right? Like, a lot of couples broke up because they moved in together, and it's like, I've never spent so much time with you and not anyone else.
Yeah, well, that's where open communication is, where it's like you have to be able to communicate well enough that me telling my partner to go hang out with their friends doesn't offend them, you know? To go hang out with your friends, like, they'd be like, okay, rather than,
well,
like,
you wouldn't,
why
yeah,
are
you
saying
also,
that?
if you're a good communicator, you wouldn't say it like that. You'd be like, hey, I saw this cool new restaurant. Like, I feel like you and your girlfriends would probably, like, really like that.
Not even that. So if I'm at the point where, like, that's how I feel, I'm just gonna say it. Be like, yo, go hang out with your friends. Like, do it. You should see your friends. Like, you haven't seen your friends.
Yeah, you
in a
should,
while.
like, for your own benefit. Like, I want you to be happy, and I know that your friends make you happy.
I want you out of the house. Lock the door, change the locks.
As soon as she closes the door, you open a sky roof. You're like bolted to the thing. A fucking falcon's coming down with its knuckle punch on your balls. She's out of the house. Let's go. Hulk Hogan's beside you. Oh, come on, brother.
Cutting off his. Yeah, that's cool. No, I was just curious because I was just thinking of the idea, like the eyes of other people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, every relationship's different.
Yeah, for
not
sure.
everyone is an effective communicator. There are times when I'm not an effective.
Some people want different things. Like some people, maybe they want you to be more restrictive on, like, say, I want my partner to be like helping me make the right decisions versus letting me do what I want. You know, like it's different for everybody.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate guidance all the time. Sometimes you don't see it as guidance. You're like, oh, why are they like critiquing me? But
Sure.
Like, it takes a certain level of objectivity, maturity, and just seeing the bigger picture and perspective, I guess is the word. It's just like, you know, they're not trying to control my life or think that I'm doing everything wrong. Like, they genuinely just want me to be happy and like I get it.
Like, look in the right direction kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like they want me to be better and like they're trying to help.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so many different scenarios that can be taken different ways. So many different people reacting.
Every situation is different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Every situation, like me and you in the same situation, both handle it differently. Both can mean different things to us. Both
in the moment would feel different things.
Yeah. I like this.
What is this?
This is the hawk with the knuckles. Oh. Me chained up. Me chained. What is? I keep did it too.
I thought you were like, yeah. I was like, what?
Cool. Yeah, that's one of my questions. Do you have something to talk about?
No, I feel like we should probably end it here. That was pretty long. Nice. Okay, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for
just being you.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't let me tell you how to be you, and don't you tell me how to be me.
Have a great day, brother.
It's so peaky, bro.
Okay. The clip's so hard. Did you hear it? I know, yeah, I did. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
No,
we'll see you later.
Okay. We'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.
Oh.
I was like, should I yell like up there? I was like, ah, it still peaked.
It's so
I was like,
peaked
fuck.
so hard.